Welcome to Live Vedanta, a podcast about simple living and high thinking. We're on a bit of a break, which you might have noticed, but we have two new episodes of our Sea Change series coming up, and that will culminate our stories of transition and change. If you want to know what's next, we have a new season of weekly discourses with Vivekji that will be dropping on the podcast very soon. Before we dive into this week's episode, I wanted to share another announcement from our Chinmaya Mission Niagara community. From October 3rd to November 3rd, so from Navaratri to Deepavali, we're joining together to rise in our responsibilities and to share our privilege through the efforts for Her Story movement. This is something that we've been doing every single year, and this year we are dedicating our community's resource, time, and effort towards supporting women's safety. We are donating our resources to the Chinmaya Vijaya Orphanage in India, which supports young women in not just surviving but thriving in their daily lives. We're giving time by reading the book No Visible Bruises and engaging in our 1-hour book club discussion on November 3rd. And we're giving effort by collecting and giving in-need items to our local women's organizations or shelters and tracking our donations. You can find more about efforts for Her Story on our website, chinmayaniagara.com, going to the initiatives tab and scrolling to click the efforts for Her Story page. We'll also include a link in our show notes. We are so grateful to all of you who have truly contributed so generously to this project. It's inspiring in so many different directions. This week's episode on Sea Change is a message rather than an interview. We had a very powerful voicemail left by a member in our community who will be anonymous about her experience with divorce. Divorce still remains, unfortunately, a very taboo topic for many communities. And I thought it was really meaningful to hear this seeker share her story and also the ways Vedanta allowed and offered grounding during this period of life that was now many years ago. Let's tune in.
Many times it feels like being a divorced person that there's no one who is around divorced, especially in Indian community. It's not talked about. It's kind of like a huge big blemish or big elephant you carry with yourself, which is not considered okay to be having, or it's considered as if that's our only identity, being married or not married or being divorced. And it took me quite some many years to start asking myself why getting divorced is considered a failure. Why it's not a, rather let me say it this way. Why is it considered a success if a person chooses to stay in marriage? And why prioritizing peace is not considered success? Like, why have I allowed rest of the society or my social conditioning, I think that's better, to define what is success for my life? How I have allowed my expectations of how society should be living as a defining path for me. After about 10 years of marriage, it took a lot of courage. It took a whole lot of courage to let go of these thoughts of it's okay to not make peace a priority, rather making peace the priority, as if I think Vivekji, I said in some time, that an emergency vehicle has passed. All the priorities, all the decisions, all the cars have moved on different sides of the road, and beep, 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 the emergency vehicle has passed. That way it happened. Took that courageous step. Somehow that grace manifested to realize divorce was the only solution to help make my children, me, and my ex peace as a priority of our lives. And then now that emergency vehicle has passed, the divorce has I have decided to take a divorce. Now I had a choice. Which car, which priority would be driving on the street? There was so much empty space. And as grace manifests, Guru Shishya Parampara, our Guru Shishya Parampara, walked into my life just 20 minutes away from my home. Luckily, I had figured out daycare for that day. And first time ever listened about what is to be happy and all the things that followed after making a decision to take divorce. Lots of friends and family rushed in to help in full support. Within a month, I had stopped asking why me, to it had moved on to what now? A beautiful journey. A lot of friends just made it about them in terms of picking sides, or they being very confused or not being able to be friends for my ex and me, as well as many decided not to involve me in their life. Ooh, a single mom or divorced person around my children? What a big blasphemy. It opened up a lot of room and space in life, really meaningfully and gratefully. And sometimes, and still pains maybe, it shouldn't, but it does, is people who said that, wow, you must have done something really, really bad in your past life, so you're suffering through this. And after a point, I was like, what? Where did our compassion go? And we are theorizing and intellectualizing law of karma instead of expressing empathy or compassion. After a point, I would laugh at such comments by people. Worst ones were the gossipers. Oh my God. Yes, well, they want to gossip their thing without knowing. But when the gossip was done in front of my own children, it was clear sign to realize which community to be part of and which not. So that social conditioning, the grace that dawned to take a courageous step, at the same time feeling like, we're the only person walking this path of divorce in our community. I don't know anyone else. No one has spoken to me about it. I have zero clue what is it to be doing and what is it to be living like a single mom. And now, almost 7 years into divorce, I am immensely grateful for Bhagwan letting me take that courageous step and that grace manifesting, for allowing me to change to be courageous. Pick up the car keys and walk out. And now that pain of separation or divorce seems really, really minuscule, so teeny tiny as compared to feeling separated from my original parent for many, many lifetimes. Now, once peace is the priority, that's the only sole primary relationship. And that's what divorce has brought. Amazing amount of grace. And the best thing ever happened to me. And at one Chinmaya Mission Yatra, my little roomie asked me so gently and politely, was so sweet, that, how do you help a friend who is going through a breakup or divorce? And that was first time I verbalized it and shared with them. Just be a sounding board. Just listen. It's not our role to judge anyone's life. It's not our role to take sides. Just be a sounding board. And that's what Bhagwan has been for me. Grateful for that Guru Shishya Parampara that been through with me through emergencies. And after that.
If you enjoyed what you heard or want to learn more, share this episode with a friend or find us online at facebook.com/cmniagara. For those on the journey of self-development, Chinmaya Mission Niagara provides a community forum for seekers to listen, reflect, and contemplate. This podcast is produced by the Young Adults of Chinmaya Mission, an international nonprofit working to transform individuals through the knowledge of Vedanta. Until next time, inspire, love, be.